Section 120. The members of the Quorum of 12 who were present at the General Conference of 1887 remained in Kirtland, and on April 21, 1887, issued an epistle which discussed the duties of branch and district presidents and other matters. The Quorum revised this epistle in 1888, and then asked the General Conference to endorse it. Action was postponed until 1889, and then until 1890. Under these circumstances, the Quorum of 12 asked the President of the Church to seek divine guidance, and in response to their prayers, the following revelation was received through President Joseph Smith. It is dated April 8, 1890, at Lamona, Iowa, and is addressed to the First Presidency and Traveling High Council, the Council of 12. Unto my servants, the First Presidency and the Traveling High Council of my church, thus saith the Spirit. The epistle is to be left without approval or disapproval by the conference, as the judgment of the Quorum of the 12, until further experience shall have tested the matters therein stated. In the meantime, branches and their officers, and districts and their officers, are to be considered as provided for by my law to carry on the work of the ministry in caring for the membership of the church, and to relieve the 12 and 70 from the vexation and anxiety of looking after local organizations when affected. When branches and districts are organized, they should be so organized by direction of the conferences, or by the personal presence and direction of the 12, or some member of that quorum who may be in charge, if practicable. Or, if a branch, by the president of the district with the consent, knowledge, and direction of the missionary in charge, when circumstances prevent the missionary in charge being present. A branch may be presided over by a high priest, an elder, priest, teacher, or deacon, chosen and sustained by the vote of the branch. Districts may be presided over by a high priest or an elder, who shall be received and sustained in his office by the vote of the district. If a branch or district be large, he who is chosen to preside should be an high priest, if there be one possessed of the spirit of wisdom to administer in the office of president. Or if an elder be chosen, who may by experience be found qualified to preside, as soon as practicable thereafter, he should be ordained a high priest by the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the one ordaining, and by direction of a high council or general conference as required in the law. There should be no conflict or jealousy of authority between the quorums of the church. All are necessary and equally honorable, each in its place. The 12 and 70 are traveling ministers and preachers of the gospel to persuade men to obey the truth. The high priests and elders, holding the same priesthood, are the standing ministers of the church, having the watch care of the membership and nurturing and sustaining them, under the direction and instruction of the presidency and the 12. The 70, when traveling by the voice of the church, or sent by the 12 to minister the word where the 12 cannot go, are in the powers of their ministration apostles, those sent, and in meetings where no organization exists should preside, if no member of the 12 or presidency be present. In both branches and districts, the presiding officer should be considered and respected in their offices. Nevertheless, the traveling presiding councils of the church, being made by the law, their calling, and the voice of the church the directing, regulating and advising authorities of the church, and representing it abroad, should, when present in either district or branch, be regarded and considered as the leading representative authorities of the church, and be respected as such, their counsel and advice be sought and respected when given. And in cases of conflict or extremity, their decision should be listened to and regarded, subject to the appeal and adjudication provided for in the law. He that heareth him that is sent, heareth the Lord who sent him, if he be called of God, and be sent by the voice of the church. In these matters there is no conflict in the law. In matters of personal importance and conduct arising in branches or districts, the authorities of those branches and districts should be authorized and permitted to settle them. The traveling councils taking cognizance of those only in which the law and usages of the church are involved, and the general interests of the church are concerned. Where cases of difficulty are of long standing, the council may require local authorities to adjust them, and in case of failure to do so, may regulate them as required by their office and duty, and this that the work and church may not be put to shame, and the preaching of the word be hindered. That the traveling council of the 12 may be better prepared to act as a quorum, my servant A.H. Smith may be chosen president of the 12, and any one of the council be chosen to act as its secretary, until the quorum be filled or other instruction be given. Those who were presented by the high priest for ordination to their number, if approved by the council of the high priests now present, and the conference, may be ordained. And from their number there may be selected by a committee of conference composed of one of the first presidency, the president of the 12, and one other to be chosen by the council of 12, the president of the high priest, and one other to be chosen by that council of their number, a sufficient number to fill the vacancies now existing in the high council, that the high council may be properly organized and prepared to hear matters of grave importance when presented to them. And this committee shall make these selections according to the spirit of wisdom and revelation that shall be given unto them, to provide that such council may be convened at any general conference, when emergency may demand, by reason of their residing at or near to places where conferences may be held. The presidents of 70 are instructed to select from the several quorums of elders such as are qualified and in a condition to take upon them the office of 70, that they may be ordained unto the filling of the first quorum of 70. In making these selections, the presidents of 70 should confer with the several quorums before so selecting, and be guided by wisdom and the spirit of revelation, choosing none but men of good repute.